sometimes gotta remember, like, she don't get it. You know what I mean? Because, like, she don't get it. If I say it, I'm the only one laughing, like, I didn't know that either. I was just like, bro, what are you, like, who are you talking to? You trying to tussle? Like, who you talking to?
I am trying to tussle.
Tell her, hey, I have this day. Can you come with me so that everything can be smooth out? But at the same time, it does frustrate me sometimes because it's like, AKWAABA.
MURAKAZA, NEZA.
Herzlich willkommen.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, welcome back to the channel, to another video of us sipping some tea, spilling some tea. You know what it is by now. Today we're going to talk about something that we had to learn. We had to go through experiences to learn, which is, as you can see by the title, in an intercultural relationship, there is going to be language barriers sometimes.
For sure.
And so we're just going to like share some things that we have noticed can affect a relationship when you're in an intercultural relationship when it comes to language, like how language can affect.
I mean, as you can see, we both speak English.
Yeah.
And I mean, can I say that's my mother tongue? I mean,
or it's like maybe your, I mean, it's your second language.
It's my second language, but technically, I mean,
but it's the language that you studied in, that you went to school in. Like, it is like, I don't know your main, but one of your main languages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And for me, my main language is German. That's my mother tongue. Well, that's my father tongue.
Father tongue.
You know, I always wondered, when I was young, I always wondered why it's fatherland and mother tongue. Because even in German, it's Vaterland und Muttersprache. Yeah. Anyways, so my main language is German. It's the language that I learned first, I spoke first, I did all my education in. I do, like, technically English is my third language. Yeah. Because after German, I learned French. And then after that, I learned English. Which also, let's be honest, right now, my English is definitely stronger than my French. But it is what it is.
Our French is good, guys.
It's okay, but it's a little rusty because I don't speak it on the daily. Yeah. But,
can I say for me?
Yeah.
As for me, I was born in Ghana, so my first language is Twi. But of course, I went to the States when I was like 4. So it's there, but everyday, daily thing, I was using English because I was in the United States. So English, studying English, grew up, friends, everything in English. So I guess those are like my main 2 languages. So English and Twi, German,
and
English, French.
Of course, Kinyarwanda. You know me.
I
know all of them. All the languages.
Yeah, so as you can see, like, being in a relationship where we have so much languages like that we use, it could cause some challenges in the relationship. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So we got like what, 5 things? Yeah, I wrote them down because I don't want to get nothing wrong. Yeah. Because we've put some thought into this because we want this video to actually like bring value to whoever watches this. Like, maybe you, as you're watching this, you're in an intercultural relationship, you're about to get into one, maybe you're talking to someone, I don't know. Yeah. So we're gonna get to it. Yeah. Anyways, so okay, so number 1, I think, well, before we get started, let's just assume, because we're speaking from our experience and in our relationship, English is the main language that we speak. Yeah. Because it's just the most comfortable, I guess. For sure. Which, he does speak German. You do speak German. Your German is good. A little bit. But, of course, English comes more natural to both of us to have a more fluent conversation than in German. But then we do speak German, like, a lot of times for small things. Like, I'm making tea, I'm like, hey, babe, you want some tea? Then we'll speak German. But mostly we speak English. Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna assume that this is the situation, you know, whatever. Anyways, so number 1 is not being able to express yourself freely in a language that's not your mother tongue. So, can I? Like, yeah, go for it. Because I can only speak from my experience. Because my English is not bad. My English is good. We speak English a lot, right? Yeah. So then, but sometimes, especially when we're like having a, we're not fighting, but like just a discussion, or we're just like, just talking, you know, sometimes I can feel that it's very hard for me to like express exactly what I mean, or like articulate exactly how I feel, because it's not my first language. Like,
growing up, all the conversations about how I feel and how like these things happen in German because I'm in Germany. That's my language. So sometimes it can be hard to express exactly how you're feeling, and then that's not your partner's fault. Okay, it's nobody's fault.
Yeah.
But it does like for me it does end up making me very frustrated.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, no, you don't get me when it's not your fault, you know. Yeah. So that's, I think, the main thing sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's both ways too as well. In terms of me too, trying to express myself to her as well. Yeah. I think because English is my main language, whatever, but also the way I talk, I was back in the U.S. It's kind of African American vernacular, also, Yeah. There's the English, and then that's that too as well, because I grew up there and grew up with different other people there as well, with other cultures, Mexicans and Latinos, Asians, whatever. So it's a big mixture of different ways to say things and different ways to express yourself, which I grew up around. So sometimes too, talking to her about things or trying to get my point across, she might take some things too literal, and I'm just no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Prime example, there's one thing that we used to and we didn't know until we sat down and talked about it. It was you know where I'm going with this?
I know.
Yeah, so she would ask me something and I would say, oh, it doesn't matter. But in the way that we say, oh, it doesn't matter, that means basically in German, it's egal, or you can pick, it's okay. It doesn't affect me in a negative or positive way. I don't care if, I'll say that too, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
And I used to get so upset about this.
But I'm not saying I don't care about that thing you're talking about, or it doesn't matter. That thing literally doesn't matter. I'm saying it's whatever, basically.
Yeah.
It can, and even that, it's whatever. You see the way I'm trying to express myself? She took it maybe too literal, was and started to get a little bit frustrated, why does he keep saying it doesn't matter? I'm trying to tell you something.
Why don't you care? I'm trying to make decisions together. I'm trying to... It can even be about what to eat, about what to buy for groceries, And then I'm do you want this or this? It doesn't matter. I don't care. So it's to me, because of the language thing, and it kept coming up, of course, until we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's wow, so you really just don't bother to make decisions together.
But we make crazy. Sometimes we do make it decisions together. Yeah. I don't want people to think we're not making decisions together.
No.
But one specific question, she would be hey babe, should we get this or this? And I'm oh, it doesn't matter. But I'm saying the tone, it's all about tone, right? So I'm saying the tone oh, it doesn't matter, basically you pick, but I don't say you pick. I just be oh, it doesn't matter. But then she's looking at it what the hell you mean it doesn't matter?
Why it doesn't matter to you?
Why does it matter? Until I started to realize she used to get frustrated and mad at and
then on top of it, I don't know how to express.
Yeah, and her mood changes. Then one day we sat down and we're yo, I don't mean it doesn't matter as in it does not matter what you're saying or what we're trying to talk about. I mean it as it can go either way. You can pick whatever you want. I'm cool with it, basically like that. But we have to really sit down and talk about it and try to see from each other's point of view. And then once that happened, then I realized, okay, I can't be just saying what I would expect her to understand, because she learned English as formal English, you know what I mean?
School
English. And I learned English as formal English too as well. But then there's also something that just comes to the top of my head that I would say or whatever like that.
Of course. It's normal, you know. Which is basically the second point that we have written down. So the first one was not being able to express maybe sometimes what you're... Because even German is a very specific language. We have a specific saying and a specific word for everything. And those words and those sentences don't exist in English and they don't make sense. So that makes it very hard for me to express. But then, so then the second one being connotations get lost. Because that's what you just said. Yeah. So even... Sometimes I say something and it doesn't make sense in English. It's a correct grammatically correct sentence, but you can just say it that way, you know. So connotations get lost. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it does, because then it's the meaning of what you're trying to say. Again, German is very to the point. Yeah. And sometimes even me, when she says something in English, I'm just damn, that was a little bit harsh. Whoa, But she doesn't mean it like that, and I didn't know that either. I was just bro, what are you, who are you talking to? you trying to tussle? Like, who you talking to?
I am trying to tussle.
But like, it's so straightforward because I can say, for example, let me think of an example that I can say. Sometimes in English, at least American English, you can be like, hey, I was just wondering, would you like to do this or whatever like that, right? Sometimes in German you can say that, but sometimes German is like, do you want to do this?
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
You know?
Yeah.
And then sometimes when she says it in English, I'm like, whoa, like, what's up? Like, I thought we were all in a good mood. What's going on?
We are. I'm just not waste of time. I just realized, did we tell them what tea we're drinking?
Oh, no.
So let's just do this. So I am drinking peppermint tea this time, you know, because I was feeling a little sick.
Still with the, what is it, babe?
Camilla.
You already know what it is.
This man, all he drinks is Camilla tea, Camilla tea, Camilla tea with Honig every single day.
It's the best, honestly. It's the best.
You gotta start drinking coffee instead in the mornings.
No. That's another video, actually.
Okay, another video. Anyway, so the tea... I was gonna say tea wisdom. That was my German coming through. This one, the specific tea, actually doesn't have a tea wisdom, so I looked one up online because I wanted the theme to keep it going. So I really like this one. It resonated with me. So it says, lass dein Verhalten für sich sprechen. So it's basically, let your behavior talk for itself. Isn't it?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let your behavior talk for itself.
So it's basically like actions are louder than words.
Definitely. I agree.
Yeah. Number 3 is basically part of the first two that we talked about. But it's that sometimes humor just doesn't come across when translated. Man. Humor just, sometimes I could be telling a joke that is the funniest thing to me. Something that I just saw, whatever, is like so hilarious to me. And he's like, what?
And vice versa, like with me. So just like most Africans or people that speak a different language, you mix, like English mix with your language and, you know, and there's some things that I would say like in Tree that's like super funny. That's a phrase or whatever, right? But I sometimes gotta remember like she don't get it. You know what I mean? Cause like she don't get it. If I say it, I'm the only one laughing like.
Either way, when you joke, I'm just like, laughing. I'm just joking. When you translate it, there's never a complete correct translation to it. And then on top of it, it's like as soon as you gotta start explaining a joke, it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean? So then the joke is gone. It's just, it is what it is. We move on. Yeah.
But we have a good sense of humor overall.
And we have the same sense of humor.
Yeah, we're really weird. A little quirky, a little bit goofy.
I think we're not weird. We're pretty cool.
I like being weird, so it's what it is. But I like that she's goofy as well. Because I also like dry jokes as well. Like
the ones where everybody's like, and you hear
I'll be the one laughing. I'll be the one laughing. So it's like, it's cool.
Yeah. The next big point is sometimes there might be like troubles communicating with family. So it's like, as an example, you speak German, but not all the way fluent.
Yeah, my German's okay.
Yeah, but also your German is okay, but you don't trust yourself speaking German, so you speak less than you could. And
it's very surface level German. Like, it's hard for me, just like the first thing we said, to really express myself the way that I want to express myself. It's more so saying it straightforward, sentence by sentence.
Yeah.
The German. Like,
so, and then my mom, for example, her first language, of course, Kinyarwanda and French, and then she knows German. And then she knows English, like she will understand, but most times she's too shy to speak English, or when she does, it's more like a joke, like, haha, I know, you know how African moms are.
I'm shy to speak German, she's shy to speak English.
Exactly. So then, even though they communicate and stuff, it's like sometimes, of course, a little bit of a barrier in between you guys to have a conversation more than you can have it's more limiting than maybe the conversation between you and my dad, because my dad's English is better than my mom's, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely limited because you know, I want mama to see how funny I am. You know what I mean?
There we go with humor.
But it's like, but yeah, I'm really, of course, it's mama too. So of course the African thing of just respect is there. Yeah. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to just like talk freely, because I have to think about the words and everything. There's just knowing the language, but just in general expression, mannerism. But for the most part, we get each other because like we be laughing on the side by ourselves sometimes, laughing at her most of the time. But yeah, definitely. Come on. But definitely, yeah, it would being in a intercultural like relationship
where you speak multiple languages,
where people speak multiple languages. It's a good thing because we can go in and out of so many different things. Yeah. Not just only with me, but other family members. So like when we all meet up, at least with her family, it's like French, English, Kinyarwanda, German. You know, go on and on.
And we're so used to it, we don't even realize until it takes somebody from outside to be like, "Wow, you guys just be switching languages." Yeah. But it's.
And then when she speaks to my family, of course, my family speaks English. But also with my parents as well, like my mother the same way. She speaks English, she understands English, but she has a strong accent, a strong Ghanaian accent, and sometimes she doesn't want to speak it. But with her, she's been pretty chill with you speaking.
First of all, if anything, I should be scared to speak because I don't know.
Yeah, but she's just always trying to like same with my mom too as well. My father speaks English and speaks French.
You gotta stop hating on your dad. He speaks French.
Yeah, my dad speaks French, but he just never had anybody that speaks French, so I never believed him until like they met and then they speak French to each other. Yeah, but it's definitely a cool thing. Yeah. But it also definitely something that a lot of communication. Yeah. It's a lot of explanation of things is also needed because of different type of languages that we speak. Yeah. And maybe some mannerisms, the tone of voice. Yeah. It can get lost sometimes, and sometimes we have to stop and realize that, like, okay, English is not her native tongue, you know? So I have to realize the way that I have to say things sometimes may come off a wrong way, you know? And, right?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
Why are you looking at me?
Can I not look at you? I like your face.
I got scared for a minute, guys.
He's like, am I saying something wrong? No, I'm just listening. Because I was like wondering, are you still on the topic of family?
I'm just in general. Okay. Just in general. But yeah, you have something to say about the family?
Yeah, no, I'm just like, it's basically what you said, but I feel like it's also sometimes not only the that we don't speak the same language, but it's like the connotation thing again, where I feel like if I had met like your parents and we all speak the same language, I would lose my shyness in general quicker. You know what I mean? Yeah. And because sometimes I know how to say something in English, but I don't want it to come across disrespectful because I don't know how it's perceived. You know how it's going to be perceived as, in comparison to if I'm only within my own mother tongue. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, continue, please. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, you hit the nail. That's what it basically is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it takes a lot of communication though.
Definitely.
Within the communication itself, it takes a lot of communication.
And just consideration. Just be aware of it, because I feel like a lot of times maybe somebody is not aware of it, and then especially when it comes to parents, it's super important. You got to be always be respectful, so when sometimes if you're not really aware of it, you're gonna say something that can be perceived as rude, disrespectful, and it's never your intention. But it's just a language thing.
It really is.
The next one is, if it depends on your situation, of course. For us, it's a thing. I will say maybe a little bit. It's loss of autonomy. How do you say that?
Autonomy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I mean by that is that maybe if you're living in a country that maybe one of you guys is not fully comfortable with the language, sometimes you're gonna need help. Yeah. So that means sometimes you can't be as reliant. Yeah, reliant, like as you would usually be. Yeah. So for us, for example, we live in Germany, and your German is good, but then again, sometimes
it gets me by. Yeah. On certain like simple situations like that, and day-to-day basis, it gets me by. Yeah. But of course, like in problems or situations where involving like bank situation or documentations or something like this, like something serious, like I trust my German, but I want to be clear on things. So then I end up having to bring my personal translator.
I'll put this on my CV.
So I have to like call her and tell her, hey, I have this day. Can you come with me so that everything can be smooth out? But at the same time, it does frustrate me sometimes because it's like I can't just like I would just like do it myself. You know what I mean? And she's busy, has her own thing going on, and I mean she'll speak about it. But from my point of view, it's like I'm a little bit in a crutch. Like I can't be free to do what I have to do because it's like, oh, can you read this? Can you check this out? What is this? You know, always have to refer back to her because I'm learning day to day every time I'm taking classes and trying to get there. But of course, there's serious things that come about that I need to like really have somebody that understands the language. And of course, my beautiful Shadi is here. But it limits me for just being free and roaming around, being independent and doing what I have to do myself. Yeah. So that's also a problem with the language, intercultural relationship with the language.
Yeah, but that's of course, as I said, only if that's the case for you. And if you, I don't know, live in a country where you both speak the main language, you can get by. It's cool. But it's like, the thing for me is like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me, but of course I can see that it frustrates you. Yeah. That it's like, I need to go to the doctor, can you come with me? Because also where we live is not a big city. Yeah. So if your German reaches its limit, most people here don't speak German, or they do, but they will not speak, don't speak English, or they do, but they will not speak it to you because they're stubborn. And then it's like, in case your German is at its limits and I'm not there, then it's going to be a whole situation. So it's better for me to just come.
And I've done things on my own. Yeah. Where they told me to go so much places, had the roundabout, got to go a bunch of places.
Refer back to the video about things he hates about Germany.
Exactly. And and also with there, I can't really express how I'm feeling. If it's in doctors, I can't really express myself exactly whatever's going on with me or what I need or anything like that. Yeah. So just the basic things, and then it's just a hectic situation where it's much smoother when she's around. Although I do need to take more risks still and do things on my own, because if you're not careful, you end up relying solely on that person, which you forget your own independence and what to do for yourself as well. And even be out there, put yourself out there, and you can learn something. So I think that's also a problem sometimes in these situations, being an intercultural relationship in terms of language, is that you end up really being reliant on somebody. Yeah. And then you don't even make the effort to even try to be independent. True. Yeah.
We don't want to make it seem like it's all negative. Because at the end of the day, if you... Like, intercultural relationships can be such a beautiful thing. Because you're opening yourself up to different cultures. Definitely. You're learning new things. I don't know, depending on your situation, you're learning new languages, which is also a really great thing. You know?
I never thought I was going to learn German.
Well, now look at you.
Jeez. Guten Tag.
You know, so it's like, and at the end of the day, communication is key. Even though maybe you will run into those things where it's hard to express or it's hard to, you know, what matters is that you keep communicating, you keep talking about it. Like how we did.
Definitely.
We figured out that, okay, something is like getting lost in translation. Let's sit down and talk about it. That's the main thing. Same when it comes to family. Yeah. Just as long as you're aware and you communicate, that's key. That's the main thing. But it is nice.
I love it. You get to learn so much different things. You get to challenge yourself in terms of learning a new language. Yeah. And being into that new culture and experiencing new things. It's like a beautiful thing. And you also share yours. And you get to, and even when you're sharing yours, like me, my tree is good, but of course, it's lost a little bit, you know? Most like people from Ghana will be like, hey, you American. And I'm like, hey, chill. But at the same time, it helps me to dive deeper back in my own culture, because I want to share with her. So I want to make sure I'm giving her the right information. So it gives me the opportunity to dive back deep into mine. It's like, wait, am I saying that correctly? In terms of language for this video. Am I saying it right? Wait. Oh, she wants to learn it? Okay, what does this word actually mean? I don't even know what it actually means. And then actually dive deeper and then actually opens my mind again and be like, okay, I need to work on my language. Like, speaking skills, communication skills, which helps in relationship. Nevertheless, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's things that we've throughout our relationship figured out that how language can affect your relationship. It doesn't have to. Maybe your situation is different.
Yeah.
Just it affecting your relationship doesn't have to be a negative thing at all. As long as you keep communicating, you're open about about other languages, other cultures, and you're honest with yourself and your partner. That's it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else?
Maybe we can make a part 2 to see anything else that we missed out.
Yeah.
If you are in an intercultural relationship or just in a relationship in general that you see some type of challenges in terms of communication and language, leave it down below. We would love to read it and see what's, that maybe we missed something or hear different point of views. And like this video, right? Yeah,
like this video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can always know when we're posting new things. You're never gonna miss out.
Yep.
Let us know what else you would like to see. Maybe if there's a certain aspect of intercultural relationships that you would like us to talk about, leave it down below. And we're gonna sit down and see if there's something we can share.
Definitely.
But yeah, anyways, so hope you liked it.
More videos on the way.
Thanks for coming with us to spilling the tea while we sip on some tea.
Some tea.
You can't even say that in German.
Can't?
Well, I mean, there is like a tea time, but you can't be like sipping on tea and spilling. It's different.
Drinking tea.
But usually it's Kaffeeklatsch, not tea. Tea. Coffee. Anyways, see you next time. Bye.
First. Are you gonna close it?
You're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it.